Gene here. Before we jump into today's show, just a quick reminder, if you have one of those smart speakers that has been created by the Amazon Corporation, you can now listen to the Tapping Q&A podcast easily on that device. For instructions on how to subscribe and activate the skill, go to tappingqa.com/ALEXA. Enjoy today's show. This is Gene Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 315, originally aired May 9th, 2018. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to the podcast. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Today, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, and particularly those limiting beliefs that have been given to us from the people that we love, and how we can effectively use tapping to release them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you a really simple 4-step protocol and how to do this. And after I do that, I'm going to share with you a really easy way that you can download a written version of this protocol so that you can just work on a worksheet and tap along to it at your convenience. Limiting beliefs are really tricky because the things that we hold in our subconscious mind as a belief, we operate on them as if they are true. And that's the way that we navigate the world. And that makes a lot of sense, that we don't want to be in a situation where every time we're interpreting or experiencing something, we're having to take time and evaluate whether or not what we believe is true or not. We simply operate as if it is true. But in the cold light of day and at distance, oftentimes we can identify and see these beliefs as being inaccurate, but simply recognizing a belief that exists in our subconscious mind as inaccurate is not enough to get rid of it. That's one of the reasons why I love tapping so much. Tapping is a tool that allows us to go in and to transform these limiting beliefs. But there's another layer that makes it difficult for us to simply transform these beliefs. It's not just having the tool to do it. We also have to be in a situation where we take the time to release those beliefs. And that's more than just finding time for tapping. Because some of the beliefs that we have been given are beliefs that have been given to us by people who are really close to us. A huge number of our beliefs come from things that we learned from our parents and our grandparents when we were growing up. And because we were in such close proximity to these people, the belief itself becomes tied to the person. And there then becomes some resistance that when it comes time to release it, there's a part of us that believes that we're also letting go of that person. Now, the statements I'm about to make now, they're not going to make sense to you intellectually, but these are true, actual pieces of resistance that exist in the subconscious mind, which makes it harder. If I am letting go of this belief, I'm saying I don't love the person who gave it to me. If I let go of this belief, I'm letting go of the person who gave it to me. If I let go of this belief, I'm saying the person who gave it to me is wrong. If I am let going of this belief, then I'm saying the person who gave it to me is not worth my attention and my affection. Now, we can disagree with the people who are closest to us. That we understand intellectually. But because the way we're given many of our beliefs about ourselves and the world at a very early age, they become inextricably tied to the people who gave it to us. So that's the reason why those particular limiting beliefs or those particular resistances show up around the limiting beliefs. So this simple 4-step process is something that is easy for you to use, particularly when you are trying to let go of a belief that you have picked up from someone who is important or someone who is a loved one. So step number 1 is to name the belief and name who gave you the belief. And so the way that I do this is I write down on a piece of paper the belief I was given that I know isn't true is, and then write down the limiting belief you're trying to tap for. And the second part was, this belief was given to me by, And it could be one person, it could be multiple people, because it could be something that we got directly from one of our parents, or it could be something that we got from our entire family or a number of people in our family. So be as specific as possible as you're identifying and naming the people who could have given you that. The second step is name the reason for the belief. Now, the beliefs that we have don't come from nowhere. They come from experience, they come from history, they come from tradition. And so when we're able to identify how the belief originally existed, it makes sense. We could be dealing with a limiting belief about money, and the lessons that we learned about money might have come from parents who suffered through the Great Depression. And so they have a very specific relationship to money. And because of their relationship to money 85 years ago, they're telling us stories about that we now internalize. So I write down the reason they had this belief is, and then I give as much history and understanding to why that's the case. And it could be lessons they learned from others. It could be their personal experiences. It could be their time in history. We have lots and lots of definitions and understandings about the role of women in our society based on beliefs that are decades and decades old and generations old. And when our parents or our grandparents who lived in a very different time are giving us those expectations and giving us those beliefs, it's based on a world that doesn't exist anymore. So in as much detail as you can, write down why they believe these things. The third step is to name the belief that you would like to have instead. So it's not just an issue of letting go of one thing, but having a real clear idea of what you'd like to have instead. And there's two parts to this. The first is the belief that I want to have and that I know is true is, write out your new belief. And the second part is the reason I want this belief is, and complete that sentence. And what that second part does is it gives you the opportunity to contextualize the value of the new belief. It might be because I get to see myself in a different way, or it might be I now am allowed to act in a different way, or I'm now allowed to expect others to treat me in a particular way. But there's a value that you have to having this belief transformed. And for me, in all that we do, when we understand why we are doing it, it makes it easier for us to take action and easier for us to have it take root. Now, the fourth step is to tap through the script. And this is going to happen in two fashions. The first part is you're going to take all of the stuff that we just wrote down, and you're going to say all of that out loud and tap from point to tapping point. And then at the end of that, you are going to end it with a script similar to this. I know I'm approaching this just like people in my life. And I know that approach is not serving me. But there is a part of me that doesn't want to let this belief go. There's a part of me that believes that if I let this belief go, I am letting them go. That I am saying that they are wrong. I am saying I don't love them. I am saying that I'm not grateful for what they have done for me. But I know this is not true. I can let go of beliefs that they have handed me without letting go of them. I can know that I love them and that they love me and not hold everything they said or did as true. They were imperfect. It is okay to say that they were and are imperfect. And that many of their beliefs that served them in a time and place don't serve me. They want what is best for me. And they might think one way is right for me. But even when they want things for me that aren't perfect for me, they do this because they want what's best for me. I can do what is best for me and still love them. I can do what is best for me and appreciate everything they've done for me. I can do what is best for me and keep the relationship strong. Letting go of a belief that they gave me is not the same thing as letting them go. Nice big deep breath. So you can see in this process, what we're doing is we're leaning specifically into the resistance of letting go of the belief because what it's saying about the relationship. And when we're able to create that space to recognize our relationship and our relationship to the belief they gave us are separate things, it makes it really easy for us to let us go. So if you would like a written version of this process, all you need to do is go to tappingqna.com/anger. There you will find the comprehensive anger management book. Now you'll notice this particular tool that we tapped on today isn't about anger. And that's true about all of the tools in the anger management book. That book was created with a very specific audience in mind. I originally wrote that book to be used by inmates who were looking help with their anger. But the tools in the book are for all emotions and to help you release in all sorts of ways. So if you'd like a free copy of that book by going to tappingqna.com/anger, there's a place that you can download a PDF version for free. If you choose to buy the Kindle version or to buy the paperback version of the book, all of the proceeds from those sales goes directly to us being able to get more copies of the book to inmates inside of facilities all over the world. Also, if you know someone who is incarcerated who would like a copy of that book, reach out, send me an email, Gene, Gene, at tappingqna.com, and we will get one of the books to them wherever they are in the world, absolutely free of charge. So make sure you check that out so you have an opportunity to take this tool as well as 13 other tapping tools that are in that book, all absolutely free if you'd like to get them that way. If you know someone in your life who could use a process like this to help to let go of a limiting belief that they were given by a loved one, please pass this audio along. Don't spam your inbox and send it to everybody in the world. But if you know someone who could use it, it would mean the world to me if you passed it along. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a topic you'd like us to cover in the future, please let me know. Some of the best shows we've ever done have come from suggestions from listeners just like you. If you haven't done so, you can subscribe to the podcast in Apple Podcast, in Google Music Play, in Stitcher, in TuneIn. We're on Spotify. If you go to tappingqnapodcast.com, all of the appropriate links for you to subscribe to the show are there so you do not miss a future episode. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Monterastelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Monterastelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Monterastelli or Tapping Q&A.